Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodness.
And supporters of the Afro-Trinity.
Let me just say this because this is the Afro-Trinity, right?
Oh.
One of my elders, well, Mars by Ogunwumi, Davidson Watches, Nubian Experience,
Swagg, and the
Millennial Mind. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have a part 2 to this right now. It's being written right now. Well, it finished being written, sorry. And it finished published and everything. You could actually pre-order it right now. The link will be in the description, called the Millennial Experience, where one of the chapters was actually inspired by the Swagg artistry and the way our interactions with the writer, the author of the book, Daniel Francis, right? So, well, let's stay tuned for that.
And he wearing a Nubian Experience t-shirt in it too.
Yeah.
But you say, ladies and gentlemen, right? One of my elders said recently, we was on a radio interview. One of them called him gentleman or something. He said, no, I'm not a gentleman. A gentleman that came to Africa and kidnapped us and brought us and enslaved us. I am not a gentleman.
So I strike that from the record.
Something about that resonated with me.
So greetings.
Greetings, kings and queens.
Kings and queens, emperors and empresses. Right?
All the high things that we want to call ourselves.
Yeah. So tonight, what episode is this, boy? 15? Yeah, I think it's episode 15. We do send track this now, so all it was sub-C numbers, right? A year ago, we experienced the unfortunate murder of George Floyd, and coming out of that, we experienced a wave of, the Black Lives Matter movement, and there was an uprising of so many groups all over the world, including Trinidad, which were focused around the support and the building of the black community. So tonight our question is, what's going on? It's a year later. I know I am not, outside of being able to find black businesses, I have not really felt any impact of some of these groups on many levels, in the community level, on the business level, people claiming that, they're seeing changes and that kind of thing, but I think that the impact that some of these groups, we in a couple of them, and one of them are 30-something thousand people, right? We don't know who the admins of these groups are.
So before we even touch on that, I want to reiterate something you said from my business perspective. Because you still have clients of different ethnicities.
Right.
But I do a business that specifically targets African people.
Right.
Of course, anybody can come to the Nubian Experience and purchase something we have. I will not say no. I have sold to other ethnicities already. Right. But based on the increase in groups on social media, right here in Trinidad and Tobago, we're talking about outside yet, but the increase in the groups that as you say, we in a couple of them. There's thousands of people some of these groups have.
Yeah.
I have seen no increase. I have actually been met with one set of rules in one or two of the groups, and them don't post this on this day and don't post that on that day to not clutter it. Alright. So I just want to meet people halfway, that money thing I want to meet you halfway. So let me see it this way. In terms of the rules and don't do this and do that. Because they say it's to prevent clutter. But then when I go back in randomly, I can't really tell anything because it's not like it have a section for you to click. Facebook to operate like that, like if you build your own website. So telling people don't post this on that day thing. Don't make no sense to me now. But to me, right? And I've had posts removed. Here I am posting clothing to help uplift us, traditional African clothing or t-shirts with African themes printed on them and symbols and stuff like that. And no one tried to work with you like, reach out to you privately and say, well, you know, I see what you're doing, and I hear we just want to do it so if you want, I could save it or post it back or give a reminder. Well, nothing like that. So that's why we're asking here tonight. You know, it's almost a year later. Some of these groups have 30,000, 40,000 people in them. We're talking about Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. I asked a question a few months ago. That was this year or last year?
That was last year.
Right.
Late last year.
These groups and them that just pop up, and we, as you say, we don't know who is the admin, we don't know who running these groups and them. We don't know what is the intentions. I don't hide. I am the owner of the Nubian Experience. I'm not hiding that. I'm not ashamed of it. I have no fear when it comes to that. Right? This is the owner of Swagg Elite. I'm trying to hide that. But these groups and them, you can't tell who is what or whatever, what connection they have to the African community. You know, if they have a business or if it's just somebody that seen what is going on and fed up and want to try something different. If we run correctly. Right? We see people that know, because when I post and I ask in a group of 30-something thousand people, when you make a post about your business, do you see an increase in sales? And if 500 people comment, we get a lot of comments on it.
Yeah.
400 and something say no. So what is the purpose of the group? Somebody want to get what is it?
Marketing. To get information.
To get information, and but information is not to lead you to a black-owned business.
Yeah.
Marketing is not to increase sales. Because we hear people about so what is the purpose of that? I mean, 30-something thousand people.
Yeah.
That
could change. That could
of
change.
course, that could change. You could change it from a micro level. You could change somebody's life. That 30-something thousand people are speaking out collectively.
Yeah.
You could change one business life. A single mother doing something. Because it's 30-something thousand potential customers she's talking to.
Yeah. So
what is it? And I asked it when the person responded that, what is the purpose of marketing? Not to increase your sales? What is our problem today? We run small businesses. We can't afford the traditional type of advertising. So we use the social media. That is a given.
We have free apps.
Exactly, right? We create up something. Of course, it mightn't be the best. You talk to me, let me know, you could do this better and make it a little better. All right. But we posted. I mean, I expected, I might be a little naive, but I expected that when I post African and African-inspired clothing in a group that's supposed to be, at that time was like about 36,000 people. With the name, a part of the name of the group is Black. Not in a derogatory way,
correct,
but in a pride, proud way.
Right.
I honestly, I was expecting an upsurge. I said, oh, they're waiting, like, you know, and then
nothing.
You know, and people try to defend that, and that's part of our problem here, which we spoke about in one of our earlier episodes. Support is an action word.
Yeah, support for self. And in that same group, of matter of fact, I saw another post this week here talking about are we sticking or are we stuck in the same mind frame of Bacchanal? Because when they see Bacchanal posts, 1,000 comments and 1,000.
I say all I on my post on the time. I
remember that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of strange because I'm saying that, okay, you're saying it's supposed to be for networking and that kind of thing, right? Okay, I'm not knocking that. But then in the same groups now, you'll see people asking where to get this, where to get that. And the businesses they're referring is not black-owned businesses. Right now, don't get me wrong, if there is nobody supplying it, by all means, right? And then you're seeing people talking about, I saw a post the other day talking about a girl asking a question, how come when it comes to her product, everybody just want discounts now, right? And not, wait, you can't go KFC and ask a discount. You can't go Pizza Hut and ask a discount.
None of the major fast food outlets, none of the supermarkets, right?
Yeah.
The only time you just get a discount is when them tell you they're giving you
a discount. And half the time they just say J.D. Francis fashion and they mark it up and then mark it back down.
Right? The only places, think about it now, the only places we go for a discount is by people we know or people we feel need. We say, that's how we look at one another.
Yeah.
That's such a bad way, such a demeaning way.
But they had people in the group encouraging it and saying that as the buyer, it is their right to seek a discount. I understand that. But you have certain places you can't do that.
So what changes?
What determines that?
I asked a sarcastic question here, right? So let me just say, you know me, I like to hit you go by the big fast food restaurant who is a soul, they created the thing, right? You cannot ask for a discount, but you come my mom's who buy a little chicken and season it up and
buy yourself
and fry it up exactly. Hashing with the daughter or son helping you anything. How come you're brave enough and bold enough to ask for a discount day, but not buy the big one in town?
Yeah.
That every year they're reporting hundreds of
$10,
million
top 10, top 10
in profit right here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Top
right?
10 franchise anyway.
And there's a discussion we was having, it not necessarily related to what we're saying here, but we was talking this earlier this week, and I was saying here again. If that franchise is so profitable in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Why is working for that company not considered a best work? Why is it not considered a prestigious job?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, prestigious.
Why?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, your company profitable.
Making mad money.
How come
and when you look at
when
it,
we slang
for them.
when we slang here for that kind of work is a dog work? I'm not saying it is,
Yeah.
because there are people minding their families and sending children to school and seeing about whole households and things. I'm not knocking the job. I'm asking, why is it not considered a prestigious job? Seeing that every year in the papers,
Profits like rain.
Profits like rain.
Profits like rain, but you're still paying people by the hour. You're still paying them minimum wage. Right?
But and these is the questions I just want to ask somebody, the policy makers now. Like, shouldn't, I don't mean necessarily trying to intervene, I'm non-profiting. But you cannot be making that kind of money on the backs of people. What is the difference between that and what we were calling slavery? The only thing different to me today is that a man coming and sign up for it, you know?
Yeah. And collecting $1 in the end of the day.
Right? But, so, to go back to, you can't go by them companies and ask for discount.
So my thing is the mindset needs to change, right? Actually, when I go into black businesses, if my bill is $80, I'll give you $100. I don't want back my change. You understand? Because here why I'm studying. You need that. And it's not a petty thing. Right? I rather leave it as a tip or whatever the case is. Because that could go a long way. That little extra 20, you know, me telling everybody to don't collect your change. But I'm simply saying that I demand more from the bigger businesses than the small man. No, I'm not saying that, again, as we said the last time, to accept mediocrity. You know.
That's all. I'm
simply saying that the energy and the support that I give to somebody like that is different. I can't tell you the last time I ate KFC, you know. I can't tell you since November. I locked that off.
So we will make the call again on the Afro-Trinity. Not African people in general.
Especially now in the pandemic.
Right?
With things hard.
What we say to all is, for 1 week, we didn't tell you lock it off like how Karen say he lock it off. For 1 week, not buy from any of them major fast food franchises, whether they're selling chicken, pizza, burgers, and find people in your community, or if it's by your work, you know, plenty working people is either. Nearly everywhere that it have cluster of people working, somebody will come to sell food they take, right? Find that and buy from that now. Just for 1 week. I guarantee that after that week, you will see a difference in the person's reaction. The person you're buying from. Because you changing their lives financially by doing that. Right? The shoes that the child needed, the book that the child needed, you're helping them to buy that.
Yeah.
When you help them buy that, that burden that you just eased it will show in the attitude, will show in everything. I'm talking from experience. You know? And it's not hard enough. It's not hard at all. The next thing I remember my father saying, he said, I would love to live to see the day that I can call my African Trinidadians and say, oh, there, don't buy rice for 1 week, go in the market. Because we just say we want agriculture to come back in the country. But everything under the capitalist system we live in, everything is fueled by money. The only way that will happen is if we do that. You can imagine the market vendors and them buy. Where someday, instead of going to make the grocery, or you go to make all things you could only get in the supermarket, but instead of buy the big pack of rice, you take that same money and you go and buy provisions with it. So yeah, well, I don't like to talk about health. But you're helping your family eat healthier.
Yeah.
You're helping feed most of the times local people. And you're helping revive an economy that could help our national economy.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know when we reach to this place now where everything is about making excuses for things that shouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, it shouldn't be an excuse. We are supposed to say, boy, and it's not difficult, you know, when I look at people like Thomas Sankara and Patrice Lumumba who try to change things and change the status quo, and it's men like them, their brethren and their best friend,
that take them out.
that decide that, boy, yeah, what going on now? I like the corruption, you know. Yeah. I like the corruption, you know. Let me live in it.
As we touch on Thomas Sankara, one of the things that he had do, why he is so special to us and so important when we showing children great African leaders in 4 years.
Which is considered a two in office.
Of course, he took over in a coup, a bloodless coup. But he was one of the few African leaders that when he ascended into power, it wasn't about he. So, one of the things I like, because of what I just do, all public servants in Burkina Faso, he gave the country that name as well. It was named Upper Volta, he named it with his comrades, Burkina Faso, he landed upright men. All public servants have to go to work in a traditional African clothes.
And people hiding.
Yeah.
To work in the shoot and tie still, and when they come in, they put it on the
That's just to show you how brainwashed it is.
Yeah.
That you have to pass a law to go to work in your traditional code. Right? And then he asked women, which they responded to get into agriculture, to feed yourself. Because if you can't feed yourself, you're a slave and a servant to where you're getting your food from. Because look at Trinidad and Tobago import bill. And tell me if somebody decide we don't like some of their policies and things, we don't like the fact that every now and again politicians is back Cuba and Venezuela, even though we are against them, no rice for you. What going on?
Russia.
So I want to tie that back into what we're talking about. If that happen, can we look towards one of these Facebook groups that has 30-something thousand and Trinidadians? When I look at a bigger picture, right? You see how about can we look at a Facebook group? We got people Facebook are doing nothing for me. Where it's a big political rallies and all kind of things happening via
Facebook.
Things like any social
media. Yeah.
People rallying, thing up. And I mean nothing bad, you know.
No.
I mean, we want to have a meeting, but of course, you know, some of these places is so big. A meeting with 500 people is plenty people. A meeting for them is 10,000, 20,000 people now. And that organizing in a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Right? So don't feel that can happen. So we major supply our rice, decide we're not supplying all the rice again. The hardest hit community will be the African community. Because we are not usually the wholesalers and importers. we are usually the retailers and the consumers, right? Can we look towards a group with 30-something thousand supposed other proud African people and say, yo, this is what we're going to do? Or we need to have farm and thing, well, and they not take it as it's only supposed to market. This is the reality of our situation right now. No?
Our strength lies only in numbers, in our numbers, and we not seeing. We see only people not seeing that everybody else seeing the strength of the African community and the numbers through our spending and through our spending only. You understand? Like, we can't emphasize this. I mean, people might feel we're redundant and we say the same thing almost every episode and whatever the case is. But if we have to change this, we had to be this like a road march, you know?
Yeah.
This had to be our road march, you know?
And for anybody that would actually think that or would actually be willing to tell me that, I would simply ask them, during the civil rights movement era in America, during the pre-independence movement in Trinidad and Tobago, so let me forget the civil rights song, the pre-independence movement in Trinidad and Tobago, when Dr. Eric Williams was going around the country talking, 5 meetings in 5 nights. You feel every night was a different or something different?
No.
It's the same thing because he trying to, as you say, he trying to beat and drive home a point that we need to not be a colony anymore and be an independent sovereign nation. You feel tomorrow night he come and talk about what is the latest converse that come up? No.
Correct. And we see it every 4 years when they come to campaign, you know.
Yeah,
every night we go down and sit down and listen to
the same thing. Most likely the same set of people.
Correct.
Except for the representative of the area that they go on in.
Correct. So we ain't going to stop singing this song, you understand? And I have been fortunate, and I will tell everybody this. Anybody that asks around me, they will tell you. Though, if you're not ready, do not go by Karen and sing it. You understand? Because I have always said that my business will be the lightning rod for people business.
And it is.
Right?
I must say.
I could confess, I could boast that right in this business here, with my little clientele, I give people a start. And I'm not saying that to no brag, but at the end of the day, somebody who's starting a business doesn't have access to people like that. Or a market.
Well, you know, I just always say, we like to take up the Jamaicans and them same African people. The slang about self-praise is not a recommendation. I don't believe in that nonsense at all. Because sometimes in the world that we live in the way that we live as African people, you will hardly ever get your family or friends to pat you on the back. Just so.
It's only when you see somebody else pat
and it's things I've experienced. I've experienced where I doing something and I doing it years, and it's only when somebody you respect and you see them or hear them saying certain things about me and what I'm doing. And you're like, you know? But what was going on? So if that take 10 years to happen, what was going on with mental individuals, you know? You know, what was going on with my mental and emotional state during that time? I spat myself on the back. The Nubian Experience clothing line is the baddest clothing line in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not saying that to belittle anybody, because I think you should feel the same way about yours as well.
Of course.
Right? But to me, I had the wickedest clothing line in the country, boy.
Yeah.
You know, when I was here last time, what I ever say emancipation day last day, he said, boy, you don't steal our. I say, I mean, boy, look at the amount of designs you design now, boy. He kept, and I never studied like that. This is Emancipation 2020. He said, check around clothing lines around the world and see how much of them you find that have the amount of designs you have. Or if they just have one or two things and that is what they're beating. I never really look at it like that. You know?
But it's perspective, sorry.
But you had to praise yourself too, and you know what it do. I just see what it do, I just be here. I have met some influential people here. You know, one of my brothers passed and checked me today, you know. He was like so shocked to meet me there because, you know, I just opened back after a year. And he just happened to pass today, you know. Right? I met him here. I've met some influential people here. I mean, at the discussions we just have in here,
Yeah, people keep telling me I need to record.
I don't want to tell you. Just now,
I do live, but
I don't want to tell you, just now the Afro review might be that.
Yeah.
Might be that polyphone. And it's because
I just run live.
I just remember a night before the Afro review, we were talking to Akil.
Yeah.
With the conversation, and I was like, oh, should I record that? Yeah, boy. And this is what we need. This is what we need.
Yeah.
We need that kind of conversation. So, when you go in the group now and you ask, do you see increase in business from posting this group? And the reason I ask that is because I wasn't seeing it. Plus, I might get 2 likes, 30-something thousand people. I might get 2 likes. And then I see a post about nonsense, especially nothing to do with the objective of the group. 200 comments. How?
Yeah.
So asking again, and if it's not so, and anybody who hearing this that might be actively involved with these groups, or know an admin, or is an admin, we got to do better than that. You understand? Because I could bet you bottom dollar. The
Lebanese Association.
Well, I wasn't even going there. I was going by the Chinese Association. To build that thing in town there. How to put up
the arches and things.
Right, and the lanterns and the dragons and things. Right? If they have a group with 5,000 of them, you feel them talking anything inside a day, but what they can do to get money, they ain't talking nothing else. We had a talk and support you. I keep saying the support is an action word. You can't just say, what do you think I say I had those repost that? You can't tell me you support me and you're proud of me and pass up every opportunity to actually partake in my business. Well, then we're already telling me that. You know? So 30-something thousand people in a country of 1.3 million is a big difference. Because
that's more than 10%. More than 1%.
If each person in that group put $1 towards every business in that group, we not say no one.
Yeah.
We talk about at that time, now this was probably last year, November or something, so I can't remember the exact time, but it was late last year. And it was at 36,000. I think it has grown by now. But that's 36,000 people putting $1 towards every business inside of it. We ain't saying doing it every day. But we just saying,
$30,000.
come on now, man. Most of the people, most of the businesses inside of it, that's a enormous cash injection to the business.
So you understand? The second question is, because something happened last week. I was talking to a person of mine, client again, about a particular business that I did not know was a black-owned business, right?
Yeah.
And I felt as though it was a secret. That the person didn't want nobody to know that the business is a black-owned business. I ain't calling the business name because I still feel the same.
Yeah.
Right? So my question is, are we as a people afraid to let the masses know that our business is owned by a black person? Because I'll show you this. They have a place I just go and buy wings. Right? Every Friday night I try to go and buy the wings. Now, they say the secret, the law of attraction, say the more you put out energy, the more you attract, right? So I have been putting out the energy that I only want black businesses to support. Lo and behold, this wings place I go in by, every time I go, now the place nice, eh? Where it is, it's real nice. I'm not selling out the business because I say, afraid that if I say that, and people hear that it's a black-owned business, they might stop supporting it. Right? And I keep seeing this little Rasta fella saying, but what if he's the owner, boy? The girl in the kitchen is a black girl. The girl who cash in is a black girl. But the aura of the place
is not traditionally what we associate
with a black business. And the size. So I saying, boy, afraid so you have to ask the man, you know, thing. 2 times I go and see him outside liming, you know, he mingling and everything. But I said, this cannot be a coincidence.
Yeah.
Right? forward to last week. Not last week, this week. I get a phone call, thing. Hey, I hear you supporting thing. I say, well, yeah, but I said, that's a black woman business. Yeah, thing. You never see that someone? I said, so he's really the owner? Yeah. I say, I asked myself the question. I say, no. It's real weird for me to feel that way. Because I can't understand how a business like that the food tasting good, the presentation is good, the service is good, where it is good, and it's a black-owned business and it's pumping. Every time I go, it's pumping. I say, boy, no, I want to go and do a video in the people and them place.
We might get a different perspective now. Based on society we live in. You know, my Trinidad and Tobago, we in real denial about racism and prejudice.
Agree.
And part of it is once people know that, once that gets out, the same clientele, part of that same clientele that go in there could be shut off from. Because depends on where business. I always remember one of his schoolmates telling me he used to work in a restaurant. One of them people and them from one of the Middle Eastern countries. And the business was slow. His first time, because he used to work there. He said, and after a few days of that slowness, the boss man take up his phone in front of all the workers all around. Yeah, business very slow these days, no need all them. Alright. And see the next night,
Place ram out.
Place full.
I know exactly the business you're talking about.
For a few days into weeks, and as I say with the lower attraction, and I know it to be true based on what I see with me. People know here you can't get a reservation. So when you call for a reservation and they can't get it, you come and tell me, boy, I supposed to go, did nothing, I don't know why everybody plays handle. Like, what? I'm like, And now I see how I start to think now. Maybe I should, yeah, but you know?
Yeah.
No. The business place you're talking about, I'm glad I don't know what is the business place. But they could suffer from that because when I did the last black market by the Kwame Ture Educational Center, one of them businesses was saying, I wasn't really privy to the conversation, but I was hearing what they were saying is that some places kind of blacklisting them because they find out the black owned. And black people doesn't usually be in that particular type of business now. That's a reality.
Yeah.
You know why it matter? Because we don't support you. Because if Trinidad have 1.3 million people, and approximately half of that is of African ethnicity, well, where do we support we on?
Yeah.
So the same restaurant you go in, the same product that getting blacklist, you're buying it. And then we had a talk, then it wouldn't have no need for this.
Right.
So after a long day, I trim you on your foot, you go inside with your family, I go home to my family. But the reason why we need things like this, and we're not the only people doing this, is because we only talk. I get kind of agitated kind of way because we are friends. They'll be telling me, oh, it's not everything is about that. Everything is about that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't so, if everything was now black and white, you could have go in town in that Roman Catholic building there and take down them white statues, even if it's for a weekend, and plug black deities. And everybody will still come. Black people is the first people that run out of that church. If you go there and put any kind of black statues. If it wasn't about black and white, you'd have been able to afford, based on your salary, that you could afford a house in Bataria, Sawa, Vermont, wherever, you'd have been able to go in Westmoreland and afford the house the same way. Right?
Yeah.
The places, I mean, I have a partner tell me he's do bartending and get called to host a party and don't know where the party is. Not because they tell him the place and it's a secret until it's close to it. It's organized 3 or 4 people. And then somebody come and pick you up and carry you. And he telling me right here in Trinidad and Tobago, him and the people that he carried were the only black people in that party. The servers. The servants. And this is about 7 or 8 years ago.
But you see the reality, Orishala, is that as much as we want to try to be politically correct and try to say the correct things and not step on no corns and step on no toes, the reality is that we have to do it, you know.
I don't care about stepping on corns and stepping on toes. I'm going to tell you what I care about. I want them to either address me directly. But when they're addressing me, they can't say I say them me. But what I say, they know is them I'm talking about.
Right.
Because we have some people in this country openly and blatantly don't like African people, boy. And African people is the reason they're wealthy. No other reason.
Correct.
And I don't care about them, I'm just saying to African people, let's make our own selves wealthy.
Yeah.
It's not nothing about you're gonna make he rich or he rich. No.
Yeah. And we can't keep looking to the government and all that. I mean, listen, the next thing is plenty of people keep saying that it didn't have the government in this and the government in doing that. I'm gonna tell you something. It have during the pandemic, I find out about some grants and thing partner that I mean, we talk about this week. See, right? From the Ministry of Social Development. These things exist, right? Where you could, as a small business or a small entrepreneur coming up and looking to do something and you need a capital injection. $12,000, that is plenty money. You understand? If you're looking to do whatever and you don't need no big set of paperwork, all you need to do is, I forget, basic thing. You know, business plan, ID to form an ID, a job letter, something. Not even a job letter.
The only thing I would say about that is, as in all pertinent information, I realize, on the show right now, most pertinent information not readily available.
Right.
Because when we spoke about that this week, I never heard about that before. It's not that I'm not interested, but I just never heard about it before. Right? I consider myself somebody who just keep up to the time, read and thing. I don't buy newspapers like I used to. Because I am tired of only reading negativity in the first 3 pages of the papers.
Yeah.
Them is the spots that just capture your attention. I'm tired of that. So I'm not getting my money. Just right? But I still try to keep up to date, but I didn't hear about them thing, and we had to find a way now, even amongst ourselves, to push that information so that young entrepreneurs who need that injection could at least know, well, look, this is it, and I could at least try. Because that one of the big problems, we don't know. We don't know. So if only hearing this, we'll put a link to
in the description. But part of that is those things help us to become better. Right? Because ultimately now that will force it. And at each level of growth, they have different grants. You understand? Because Ministry of Trade have grants as well. They require a little more information. So when you get to the place where you fix that first one and you get that information and you sort out yourself logistically, you get everything together, paperwork-wise. Correct. So now that you go to the bigger loan, the bigger injection, or whatever you want to call it, grant loan, whatever.
No, let me specify because a loan you have to pay back.
Right. But I think trade is a grant. Trade is a grant as well. Right. Those two that we're talking about is grants.
Grants where once you meet the requirements,
the criteria,
they will. Of course, they're not giving any money in your hand.
No, you have to come with your invoices
and they will pay the suppliers. And you can't lose with that. You can't lose with
it, But ultimately, what we're saying is this: the only way we're going to fix all the problems in our community is that we have to fix up here first. You understand? We have to fix up here first. And we keep using excuses and trying to justify why certain things is the way it is. We have to come out of that. We had to come out of that and we had to start to face these issues head on. You know what I mean? And the most frustrating thing for me with this is concerned is that me and this brother here taking time out of a week every week. He leave Arima to come down here just now. I just wrap up earlier on Saturday. so that I could do this vlog. Right?
There's not complaining, we just say
no, we just explain.
And I also want to add to that too, that we are not the only people doing this.
No.
Some people doing things in other
Aspects,
spheres. Exactly.
In other aspects.
Because they see, just like we see and need to at least attempt to work on people, because just like we do in this, it's a double and triple the amount that give up on us other people.
Yeah.
We own people.
Yeah.
Give up on us, like, like we some hopeless case. Because they don't know nothing. What they know? They don't know nearly everything that run the world today started in Africa. No, you're looking at me like, like we so hopeless. We like, and I just find this one so powerful. We used to know how to build pyramids and channel through this and sail here and go there. And now all we know to do is march and clap.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So as I say, we are to get into this. We are to get with children into it as well, because we're spending top in mud here if this discussion is not being had with the children as well. I am not the one to say how to have it with the children, because I know one of my limitations is that I probably have one level of sleep. I'm bringing it out now. Based on my experiences and things. So while that level might work with you and other adults, it might necessarily resonate with children. So I look forward to meeting more people, more like-minded individuals, especially those that can relate this to children. And I'm talking 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 12-year-old, because these children are much more intelligent than we want to give them credit for. But it's a real thing they're lacking. So many things I realize is that a child could, you hand a 13-year-old a phone and they can find all kind of things to do and this, and they learn to do that thing. And send them in the shop and they're like, they know?
Yeah.
We had to find a way to balance it.
Yeah.
Because when we was growing up, we didn't have this to distract we.
No.
So outside was it now. But just reality is that this is a part of our life right now. I tell people, I am not denying that. All I do is this. Her days, my daughter can't go out. No phone today. Play. Build up things with your toys. Build up things. I'm going to see where you're building up on. Draw. She loves to draw. I'm a great artist, Daddy. Yes, you are a great artist. If you want to be an artist, yes, you can be a great artist. Draw. Thing. Right. But this is a part of their existence. One of the things that, and I have been guilty of it, because I want to sit down to do some work and she want to talk to me. Son, and I have to focus. Like, you want to take out some pictures? Yeah. And she gone. So I was really trying to be cognizant of that and not let the phone do it now. Try to be able to multitask and but interact with her more, because I realized that more and more these children and them, they're real good. They can interact with this.
But they can't interact with this.
Yeah. And you know what they're trying to tell you? Because they don't understand that. But look how good me and you just talk. That's you and I. Let me send it down in town now. Let me get a list and send it down in town. And that is important, because you're going out there to the real world. It will not always be you talking to daddy or mommy. Yeah. Or auntie or uncle. It would not always be that.
Yeah. So you have to be able to deal with that.
Yeah, and I willing to listen to anybody that have an idea on getting that across to the children, that yes, your cell phone and your tablet and your computer and your game is a part of your life today.
But it's not everything.
But it's not everything.
Yeah.
I'm willing to listen to somebody who have a way to put that across to the children that they will actually understand and appreciate. Yeah. So, we just always try to leave with a solution. Today, for me, it's not necessarily a solution, more like a question to all these groups and them that pop up that have so much as thousands of people in it. I think two things. Let we work for the people. Let the group work for the people. Not for you and your ego. And I start this group and look at my people in it. Now let it work for the people. Yeah. Right? And it had to be more than just somebody. I looking for the Millennial Mind. You know what I get? Yes, Swagg. It had to be more than that. Because some people, as you say, try to make excuse for the nonsense, right? But to me, in my simplistic understanding or overstanding, if networking have a end result.
Correct. And the networking, the end result is the
dollar.
dollar.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it can't be about networking. And here you're telling people to step up their game. I find that so disrespectful to tell people to step up their game. We might have a young boy or a young girl. No start a business. Ain't really understand too good, but trying something. And hear your response to she. Step up your game. Like because they just want the right to talk to us. Or they don't want to deal with real issues. It's just about flam falling. I am not a flam black man. I'm a proud African. There's not a gimmick. You understand? I can take my money and buy what everybody else buying. Now, there's no gimmick for me. So don't just brush off the young people and them like that and them. In these groups and them, we had to work with them. We had to work with them.
And by working, we mean encourage. It have
Encourage.
different ways to encourage. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily that because the person is doing it. Not because you are going marketing and I now starting, mean I supposed to do what you expect me to do. You understand? It have levels to the thing. You're going to get to that place. You know, you recommend some free apps and whatever. Because a man start a business with $500.
What's your partner name? Yellow. What is in yellow?
Jared.
I see a video from him talking about that. He say social media content that does make you feel you need all this kind of thing. He say he just use the phone
and a tripod
and 2 or 3 apps.
You
understand?
Canva and some.
And he making some bad videos.
But that's what it is. I mean, half the videos when we editing here, it's power director using my phone. You understand? Every week I have to delete my thing because you understand and set it up in the cloud. So that I could have it back up and whatever, you know. But the reality is that we have to start somewhere. You understand? And it can't be that we chastising a man who now start up on that tent, you know, and that is he take his last $1,000 and buy a fryer, some chicken and some flour and start eating. And you're trying to tell me, well, why don't market better? With what? Right? And then take your time, you understand? Take your time. So I think a lot of us, and that's why our virgin rightfully, I think was Jenny, you know, check your privilege. You understand? Check your privilege because sometimes you might be able or have the ability to afford certain things or do certain things, but I can't.
And it is mess with you emotionally and mentally. You see that check your privilege? And I laugh now because I think I'm in a better place when it comes to that mentally and emotionally. I mean, my mind run on Sule, you know, he talk about so much of them things that people tell you, why you ain't do this, but they ain't say that. That is the words them say. But what really come out of the mouth is, you shook with a word, I will doing that, but I'm doing my best with what I have.
Correct.
You know, so let me encourage the young people. Let me use this group 30-something thousand black people in Trinidad and Tobago could make a difference in 30-something thousand black people's lives and more. Right? So let me use it for that. Let me be about that. This can't just be about talk and social media, and then when you come up on social media, you forget that he's African.
And then you know, when this one, when Ramsar and Bad talk, we or Starlight say something.
The only reason I'll say this anyway, and I challenge any academic. You know they like to tell you, you know, no degree and no doctorate now. As a proud past pupil of success level and them composites too, I challenge any one of them when it comes to the way we just look at things, and we had to support and we have to do it. The only reason is we vex when another ethnicity make what we deem as a derogatory comment about us is because we know, when we be honest, we don't have our pride in ourselves. Because if you proud of yourself in a certain kind of way, and our next ethnicity walk past 10 hours here, look at them and whatever derogatory word, But the tenor we live in here, know ourselves as African. We feel he matter.
Yeah.
He don't matter. But the only time he matter is when we know what he's saying, how truth take, based on the way he put it across. So we have to live with pride, people. Yeah? That is why I say for today. We have to live with pride, and we have to be more more about it. I say it again, can't have our group claiming to be about African thing and black business with people in the tens of thousands in it. And the businesses involved not seeing growth from being a member of them groups.
Yeah.
You could charge me and all. You could charge me to post in your group. If when I post my business, I gain business out of it. You could charge me.
Yeah.
And you could make a money too. Because I can't complain when I imagine I post up a new design I bought on a jersey. And 100 people from the group buy from me.
100 buy one t-shirt each.
Come on.
Yeah.
And you tell me, well, after a while, you tell me, well, for every post,
yeah,
$100 or something. So.
Yeah.
And I know I get in sales from that. Where's your
money?
Where's your company money?
Take my money.
Cent.
Yeah.
we had to be about it. Yeah. Well, the goodness, be safe out there.
Yeah.
Be safe on the roads. Keep your children close. Right? You see the madness and thing going on outside. They keep them close. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child. And when they say raise, is in all aspects, including security. People must be afraid. It must be a secondary, tertiary thought to even interfere with an African child. Whether the repercussion be a man deal with you, or your foot can't work again, you will like to know what I'm talking about. You know? It must have repercussions to interfere with African children. All children on the world, of any ethnicity. It must have repercussions for that. So to be safe out there, more life, more love. We'll link again. Good missing.
Yeah, man. We out.